Welcome to Versus, episode 7. I'm really absolutely fucking angry this week. This movie is I don't know, Will. Is this the worst movie we've watched?
Hands down.
Let's get
Is it
make a
even a
lightning here, son of a bitch.
If what you're saying's right, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh my god, it's here.
But you said...
I know what I said.
What was that?
It's like we're in some kind of lightning storm.
No! Hasn't changed much.
Let's rock and roll. Whoa, my god, it's getting worse.
Flight got cancelled because of this ghastly weather.
It's over. When I say so.
This is gonna be mega.
That trailer is even like worse. That trailer is worse than the movie.
Well, here's the reason why that trailer is worse than the movie. Because the trailer is flat out fucking lying to you. The trailer is saying, ooh, there's something big, scary happening. No, there fucking isn't. There's nothing going on. For everything that this film tries to have going on, nothing is happening. We were doing a watch along of this, and I was actively falling asleep during it. That is how awful.
Folding laundry, and falling asleep. Like here, I'm just gonna comment on that trailer first of all. One, it's like be safe, stay indoors. Then they show a shot of the lightning obliterating the entire roof and second story of a house. Obviously, you're not safe staying indoors. And then they also showed the scene of the abusive boyfriend telling the girlfriend she'll never leave her. And then the immediate next scene in the trailer is him dying. So you know that resolves itself. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, it's almost like the trailer is actively telling you, hey, maybe you don't need to watch this film. And we can tell you right off the bat. Normally we say, hey, maybe see for yourself. And here are the tools of how to do it. I think this is the only week that we're actually going to actively tell you not to see this film at all.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, we back when this was John Versus, I did cover Mega Lightning with our mutual friend Henry Confidential, and it's the same movie. In Mega Lightning 1, there was like a crazy kidnapper who is kidnapping women and killing them, but the Mega Lightning Storm was happening, so it could have just been a movie about the kidnapper. And in this movie, we get actually 3 separate storylines that could have just been separate movies. We get a home invasion, we get like an abusive boyfriend, and then we get a mom in an Uber, and they're all just affected by this storm. It's so weird.
How they connect it just doesn't make any goddamn sense at all.
It does not. Like I'd throw spoilers up if I cared, but basically, there is a house and a tech. They go back and forth between billionaire and millionaire. Let's just say he's a millionaire, because if he's a billionaire, it makes less sense. A tech millionaire. He lives in this neighborhood. It's a vacation house. It's not in an area where you take a vacation. It's not near a beach or in the mountains. It's in the English countryside. He has several vacation houses, but it seems like everyone not only knows where this guy lives exactly.
Belinsky's. They live near here.
Hey, I know this road.
Yeah, me too. Thinking
The Belinsky summer home.
They know him. They don't say how they know him. They also know him. And they also know him to the point that they know when he should be at his vacation house, which is just weird. My neighbors don't even know. when I'm supposed to be here or not, you know? And these people aren't his neighbors.
Tech millionaire, yeah. I think Mum said that he was on holiday or something.
Right. Like they don't explain like any kind of familiar, connection, like grinder hookups. They don't say anything here.
Well, the one thing they do say, okay, the crew that breaks into the house has intelligence because they've been tapping his phones.
I mean, that's stretching it, but go ahead.
We've been listening on your seedy little phone calls for weeks. I mean, it's been getting me off.
Yeah, allegedly, because one of them is a computer genius, just the throwaway computer genius. So they've been spying on him, so they know that he shouldn't be there. So surprise, he's actually there. But the funny thing is, these semi-pro criminals have the same amount of knowledge as every other person. Right?
I would go so far as to say they may have the same amount of knowledge, but these guys, for a crew that claims they've done jobs like this before, you see them make more mistakes than the wet bandits made in Home Alone.
Oh my God, they go through the trouble of having balaclavas that they wear. They take them off within
stare at cameras. They stare at cameras with them off.
Yeah, and they realize that the people that own the home are home. This is a sign to me as a criminal to leave the shit on, but they take it off
right before attacking them.
And then they don't even but we're not criminals. I mean, as far as I know, and I wouldn't admit to being one. But if I was in a situation where it's a home invasion and I'm already assaulting people and now they've seen my face, I've seen enough movies and seen enough news stories to know now you have to kill these people. But they just don't. And they have a gun and they don't.
They have a gun. They have shit in the kitchen. Like, there's a guy who is like easily a brick shit house who can probably break their necks or throw them out windows or do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and they do nothing.
It's just drawn out. The movie. I complain about mainstream movies dragging a little bit. This movie is only 75 minutes long, and all it does is drag. It's all it does.
I have never had a 74-minute film feel more like The Irishman than this goddamn movie. Like, Jesus Christ, at least The Irishman had a point.
Yeah. So while they bungle, and there's so many scenes where there's scenes where they're trying not to be discovered by the homeowners. And it's like this weird, it's actually decent cinematography, I guess, for a ITN Jagged Edge film. Like, they actually do some decent maneuvering. Then there's scenes where now they've been discovered and now the people who own the house are hiding from them.
What woman? Shit.
And they can't ever decide what they're trying to do. But pause. Because then we have a second storyline. A couple and their other couple friends have rented a house in the same area. I don't understand why. I think is it the girl's birthday? I don't know. I think it's somebody's birthday.
I think so. I don't think it's the one with the Shiners birthday. I think it's their friend or something.
I don't like that.
Yeah, but I like it.
Shit. So two sisters, one is in an abusive relationship, one is dating a ginger. That's how you can tell them apart. The sisters don't look like sisters. I don't even think the sisters are the same race.
No, they're clearly not.
Yeah. One is the wife, the wife from Dinosaur Hotel 3.
Right.
Number one. And the other one is, I'm going to say, at the least biracial, if not Middle Eastern looking. I don't know what she is, but she's not as
She ain't a white. That's
Yeah.
what
she's
she
not
ain't
his
white.
sister. And we meet the mother, and the mother is Mrs. Doubtfire white, like very white. So like I don't know what's going on here. I'm not an expert on genealogy or genetics, but something is wrong. Something is foul in the state of Denmark, and like your casting agents need to get their shit together.
I'm pretty sure the mother is just like the mother from from like Barney's mother from How I Met Your Mother, and just completely lying her ass off as to why why Barney and his brother don't look alike.
Right. But the B storyline is the white sister's boyfriend, who is like generic, like dreadlocked dude, is abusive. So good on them for having the black man beating the white woman. That's good job, ITN. You're definitely furthering stereotypes. And
What?
then but he's like
when the NFL's not doing it themselves.
Like there's scenes where like you hear him like beating her, like, and the other people are just downstairs like, oh, just beating her.
Come on, what did you expect?
And like, Taylor, you've got to do something about this. And then she just decides, while this gigantic raging lightning storm is going on, like she's gonna just break up with the dude who has just been beating the shit out of her the entire movie.
It's over. We're done.
With almost nary a bruise, may I add. So like basically he's not been doing a very good job if he wants to beat her.
Yeah.
But do you really you're making me want to do like a deep dive on physics of like what it looks like when someone gets beaten, and I don't want to do that.
No need.
Thanks thanks IGN, you fucking assholes.
Then the C storyline, which I didn't even understand what was going on, is the mother of the two girls who are having the getaway at the house is just in a random Uber.
Keep going, woman.
Lady, would you just... Whoa!
What was that?
That's happening. So let's just cut to the chase. So the Uber gets struck by the mega lightning. It crashes.
He's gonna hit us! He's gonna hit us!
The mega lightning strikes the house, kills the abusive boyfriend. And knocks the roof off the house. The girls are staying in. They get in the car. So where the car crash site of the mother and where the car the girls are in runs out of gas are all within walking distance of the millionaire's house, which is being home invaded. So everything wraps up so wonderfully. And everybody knows, no matter where their car crashes or breaks down, exactly where they are in relation to the tech millionaire's house.
Belinsky's. They live near here.
Hey, I know this road.
Yeah, me too. You thinking?
The Belinsky summer home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So technically we did gloss over, shall we say, story arc 0, which is like the intro where
the cold open, where like the husband from Dinosaur Hotel 3 and some random girl I'd never seen before they're meteorologists,
right?
But also like nuclear scientist experts, and they just have like a laptop on a stick. With CGI on it, and they know another storm like the mega lightning storm from 1 is coming, but they obviously didn't know anything about the storm from mega lightning 1 because they are way out in the open. And if they watched the first movie, they should know that they should not be out in the open.
I should have seen this coming, Nina. I should have seen it coming.
Arsehole, I drove your fucking ass out here. The least you could do is tell me what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, and they're pretty much obliterated immediately, and it's so it sets the tone in a very painful way, because one, the acting is just, their acting and writing is piss poor even for a Jagged Edge ITN film.
Yeah.
Two, the delayed reactions going, oh no. Like a full minute passes before anything actually happens.
Yeah, every time. Well, first of all, the lightning in this movie is like relentless, and it can knock the roof off a building. It can blow up a car.
Damien, get out of the car!
I got it. I got it.
A car. They tell you if lightning strikes a car, you're safe in the car because you're grounded. Not in this movie. Lightning destroys cars, and when this lightning hits people, they are just turned into blood splatters, which is also not how lightning works. But this is mega lightning.
No!
And the effects are exactly what you do. These are Sky Monster level effects. They are Sky Monster effects.
I think that's insulting the Sky Monster at this point.
Yeah, people are just exploding into pools of blood when they're hit by lightning.
Which is really just, it's really just kind of fucked up, because like, didn't Sky Monster come out at least in like 2022? And
yeah,
this one
before this.
And yeah, and this one came out just on the cusp of like between like 2023 and 2024. Just in like the little like in between area. And so it's like, you would think that the graphics would at least slightly improve, and they don't. Somehow they're going backwards, as if
There's
this movie
so
was made in the 2010s.
Yeah, there's so many scenes where like lightning hits a house, and like, you know, it's like a poof, and then there's like a little black splotch on the house. And the funny thing is, like, the lightning striking the house is what wakes up the people that live in the house that's being home invaded. And just like throughout the movie, they just keep cutting to lightning hitting the house and knocking chunks off the house for like no good reason.
And the fire effects look like they were taken off of like the annual Yule log videos. It's just so fucking awful. Like, what?
All the kills are so arbitrary, like, and they're all just like you said. Like, if somebody gets struck by lightning, you know what's happening because the actor literally goes like this. And then
like 30 seconds later, yeah.
And it's like crazy delays. It's like, what are you doing? Like, and it's just very convenient. Like, it only strikes the bad guys. Only the bad, except for the one boyfriend. He unfortunately gets struck by lightning, just to show that lightning can be indiscriminate. But like all the other women, like protagonists, run around outdoors way more than the bad guys, and they never get struck by lightning.
Right. Yeah.
And the bad guys are just so weird. You have, like you said, you have your brick shithouse guy who legitimately gets hit in the head with the frying pan, but just it doesn't affect him. But he can't finish off the woman and the guy. The leader guy who is crazy, who has the gun, never shoots anybody, but does slit the throat of the guy that owns the house. And then, you know, Gabe from Medusa's Venom, who's the tech expert, but he's just also he just loses his shit so often in this movie.
I really didn't think anything would happen.
It's bullshit, and you know it.
It feels like this is like an F squad out of like a Guy Ritchie film. Like these guys are so out of place.
And like they find money when they break into the house, right? And then they literally beat the shit out of the guy, the dad from Pterodactyl 2. They beat the shit out of this guy.
We don't have anything. He's telling the truth.
For like, the movie's 75 minutes. They punch this guy in the face for like 25 minutes. Like, it's a third of this movie is this guy getting punched in the face. Then they basically get him to like literally empty his entire bank accounts into their bank accounts. And the movie, and like, they don't just leave at that point. They have 10 million. They just made $10 million.
Numbers are fine. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Sharon. You've been incredibly helpful. Okay. Yep. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Right. Can we go now?
Almost.
And the bank that did it, and oh, this is why I wanted you to come in. You're the expert. And the bank's just totally okay with it. Will, as a fraud expert, what was wrong with that scene?
Without going into every single minutia, let's see. First of all, any transaction, any out of the blue transaction that's like $5,000 or more, we have to, you have to file an unusual activity report. When it exceeds in the millions, there's holds on the account. There are forms that need to be filled. There's like identifications that need to be verified. There are so many things that can happen. It would never be this instantaneous. Everyone's like, "Oh no, seems above board."
Wait a minute. Even in the middle of the night in England?
Yeah, even in the middle of the night in England.
Yeah. So in the middle of the night in England, they commit impossible fraud. But regardless, let's suspend disbelief. They get the $10 million. They don't just leave. They've won. They've won. They've won. The bad guys have won. They don't just pop, and walk out the front door. The movie continues for some inexplicable reason until all the bad guys are struck by lightning.
It's been fun.
And honestly, by this point in the movie, it's very clear that these two idiots who are being held hostage, no, they just need to die for the betterment of humanity, because they're literally at one point, the guy is listing off, where is this weapon? Where is this weapon? Where's this weapon? Where's this weapon? Where's this weapon? The wife or girlfriend or whatever says that they're in all the different rooms. They're in the bedroom with them the entire time.
Like, where's the shotgun? It's not here.
And then they finally randomly start pulling things out from under the fucking bed.
Yeah. He asks where the shotgun is. Another character finds the shotgun under the bed later. He asks where his golf club is. She says it's not there. Another character finds the golf club in the closet in their bedroom later in the movie.
Fuck! Cohen! You bitch!
It's like everything is like, I don't know if they were trying to be funny or clever, but it just comes off like so frustrating. Like, I was already frustrated that I had to watch this movie, but it's more frustrating watching them. Like, I think they thought that was clever. I don't understand it. But like I said, mother's car breaks down. She winds up there. She's a hostage now. The two daughters make it to the house. They're hostages now. And then it's just like an all-out slapstick brawl where everyone stands still all the bad guys stand still for too long and they die. And all the good guys stand still for so long and they don't die. And that's the end of the movie.
Like eventually the tech millionaire has his throat slit, which is like takes care of like all of the actual blood budget for the film.
But it's CGI. At first it's real blood, then it just keeps cutting to him, and it's just CGI waterfall blood coming out of his, and they keep cutting back. I'm like, nobody has that much fucking blood in him, dude. And that guy weighs like 140 pounds soaking wet. He does not have that much blood in him.
We're gonna get him out of here in the car, and then we'll come back.
I don't have that much blood in me. Like, give me a.
Yeah. Can we just be done talking about this film? Is there anything?
That's it. The good guys win, guys. The good guys, and like honestly, for a Jagged Edge film or an ITN film of the Jagged Edge family, they end the movie. There isn't like it's not like the end of Mega Lightning 1 where another storm comes. The storm's over. Hooray! Please don't do a Mega Lightning 3. That's a fucking war crime. Anyway, Will, a drink?
So, I'm just telling you right now that the recipe that that's provided down below, called Smokestack Lightning, because I had to do a theme, but really I think I put more thought into figuring out what cocktail I wanted to do than the whole writing staff did on this fucking movie. The recipe like basically makes one drink. I would try and adapt this to a pitcher as much as possible, because if you decide to watch this, you will fucking need it to just get goddamn drunk. But I did figure out one that would actually be really strong. So here you go. Here's the recipe. The measurements are just fucking bizarre on this, so bear with me here. So 1 3/4 ounce, for some fucking reason.
7 count bartenders.
Yeah. Of Patron Reposado tequila.
Reposado. All right, let's go. All right, I'm down already. What's next?
Yeah. Here's where it just goes off the rails. So filling in that last 1/4 ounce just to make just to round out the 2 ounces, you have a 1/4 ounce of Castile Caimias, whatever the fuck that is, peated Scotch whiskey.
Okay, so Highland Scotch, got it.
So you're doing exactly what people always tell you not to do, and blend the clear with the dark. Hey. Sure. Let's see where else this goes. The rest is actually kind of boring, to be honest with you. 1/2 ounce of agave syrup, I'm sure any simple syrup would do. 3/4 ounce of lime juice, freshly squeezed. Don't get that, stuff in the bottle, you lazy bastards. And as the optional one, 4 drops of margarita bitters.
All right, it sounds like it sounds like the Scotch is just there for just a little bit of a peaty kick, which is probably not going to make you sick, but
probably not.
I'll start off. If you do make a picture of this, right, pour yourself a big glass, and I don't want it to kill you, but here's what I would do. Practice taking very small sips, and I want you to take a very small sip every time the guy gets punched, every time the owner of the house gets punched in the face.
I don't want to, obviously I'm kind of torn by how big of a sip you want to take, so I'm going to leave it up to your discretion. But every single time you can tell someone's going to die, for every second before that they have the reaction until they actually die, just take a little something. But take a full sip every single time someone gets struck by lightning and bursts open like a ripe melon, getting hit by a shotgun.
Yeah. Every time it cuts to the outside of any house and lightning just strikes the house and like a shingle or a brick flies off the house, take a legit sip.
Take a legit sip every single time you see shitty fire effects.
That's legit. I think that would solve the problem. Anyway, we're going to cut this episode short. This is we've talked about this movie more than it deserves. If they make a Mega Lightning 3, I am going to fly to England. I'm going to fucking fight somebody. I'm that's a threat. I am actually threatening you. Okay. I don't know if I'm breaking the law right now. If you make a Mega Lightning 3, I'm going to fucking find you. Don't do it. All right. I'm John Maher. That's Will Cohen. Every Monday we do verses. Every Thursday it is Why We Love Horror and Horror Headlines. And every Friday it's Why We Love Horror Trivia here on the Why We Love Horror channel on YouTube. Thank you for stopping by.